Which state should I form my LLC? Oh man, this is a doozy, and we're going to get into it on this one. Everybody's got an opinion, and I don't have an opinion for you. We're going to roll right into the disclaimer. I am not your lawyer. I am not your CPA. I am not giving you any advice whatsoever. I'm just providing generally available advice that you can find if you dig deep enough on the Google machine and click far enough down on the pages. But we're going to kind of talk about what common pitfalls there are and what, a lot of people just kind of say, oh, get a Delaware S Corp. That's why we got Delaware here. We're going to talk about why everybody loves Delaware. Okay, so we got Hal here, who owns ABC Tile. I think all these guys' names are Hal. I'm probably going to have to change these names at some point. So anyway, Hal is like, hey, I heard I should get a Delaware S Corp. Now, should you get an LLC or an S Corp? We have a video explaining the difference, so check that out. But long story short, an LLC and an S Corp are not mutually exclusive. You can have an LLC that is taxed as an S Corp. That's what people are really asking for. They're not saying you should get a corporation. They're saying, and a lot of people get this wrong, and again, I'm not giving you advice. I'm just kind of telling you what a lot of people mix up. When someone says you should get an S Corp, they're not saying you should get a corporation. They're saying you should get an LLC taxed as an S Corp. And that's kind of what's lost in translation there. But so Hal's like, okay, I want, he's in the state of Texas. He resides in the state of Texas. All the work is being done in the state of Texas. But he keeps hearing that he needs to get a Delaware LLC because that's the cool thing to do. But here are the facts. He can absolutely do that. And the reason why a lot of people do that is because of taxes. Every state has their own rules on income taxes or business income taxes, or just business taxes in general. Texas and Delaware are both kind of unique. There's two levels of kind of no income tax. In the state of Texas, as long as you're making less than currently $1,180,000 a year, there's no tax in the state of Texas. In Delaware, it's just flat. There's no tax. That's why, Amazon and Microsoft and all these companies become Delaware corporations because they don't want to pay income tax. The caveat to that is where you're doing business, that state is just not going to be okay with not getting any tax revenue. So let's, we know that $1,180,000 is kind of the cap or the trigger of when Texas gets taxes. But let's say Hal's doing $5 million a year in revenue. The state of Texas is not going to be like, oh, it's totally cool, Hal, that you're a Delaware LLC, even though you're doing your work in our great state of Texas, where you reside and where you drive on our roads and utilize all these public utilities that we provide you, like schools and all this other stuff. We're totally cool with you just not paying any taxes. That is not how it works. No state is like that. Every state is going to want their cut of your revenue, whatever that may be. So if Hal does go to the state of Delaware and says, I want an LLC, the state of Texas is still going to be like, cool, you can do that, but you're also going to need an LLC or a corporation here because the work is being done here. So a lot of people, they choose Delaware, Nevada, or Wyoming because they think that they're not going to have to pay taxes. When the reality is the state where the work is being done is generally the state people choose to form their entities because that state is going to want their tax revenue, and they're going to fine you one way or another if you owe enough taxes and they find out. So generally generally accepted principles are to form in the state where the work is done or the real property exists if it's an asset like a rental property. If you have a rental property in Texas, it doesn't make a lot of sense to form in Delaware. But let's go a little deeper into what I mean by you're also going to have to file an LLC in Texas if you file an LLC in Delaware. So there's something called domestic and foreign filings. You might have seen this here and there. We're going to kind of explain what that is. The state of origin, the first state that you form your business in, when I decide I want to be ABC Tile LLC in Texas, that is my state of origination. That is the first state I am in. And so if I want to, and so that's my domestic filing. So I have a domestic LLC in the state of Texas. If I decide to expand and I want to expand Oklahoma and expand to Louisiana, since I'm doing work in those states want their tax revenue, they want their filings, etc. They're going to require that you have an LLC in those states as well. So you can have ABC Tile in Texas and then an ABC Tile in Louisiana and then an ABC Tile in Oklahoma. But in this case, Oklahoma and Louisiana would be foreign filings. It's not foreign like another country. It's foreign as in the state that you didn't originate in. So because Hal is in Texas, and Texas is the first state that he formed his LLC, and that is his domestic filing, and any state that he expands to beyond that is a foreign filing. Okay. So what I mean by this, and this is what happens, all the big companies, Amazon, Facebook, whatever, if they've got people in 30 states, if Facebook has people in California and Texas and New York, they have entities in all of those states, foreign filings that point to the parent entity. So if Hal decides to try to skirt his taxes and file in Delaware, he's going to have a domestic filing in Delaware. But the state of Texas is like, cool, fine, you can do that, but you're going to need a foreign filing in the state of Texas, and we're going to take your tax revenue anyway. So people fall into this pitfall where they go into Delaware and then they again have to file in Texas. And so why not just file in Texas to begin with and not have to manage the state compliance? We have a video on what state compliance is, and and the fact that you have to do that every year. So the less entities you have to manage, the easier. So that's kind of why it's generally accepted knowledge to just form in the state that you do the work in and just make it easier on yourself from an administrative perspective. So that is an explanation of which state is the best state to form an LLC or corporation or another entity in. And if you got benefit out of this video, please like and subscribe. It helps us educate more people. If you need to file an LLC, if you need a formation or you want registered agent service or state compliance service, please use Better Legal. Go to betterlegal.com, and we've got all of these services. We can take care of you, all of your administrative filings, or share with a friend. Share this video with a friend. But anyway, that wraps it up for today. Thank you so much for watching, and we will catch you on the next video.